everybody, it's Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books, and here I am with my March Mystery Madness. That took some saying, didn't it? So I've made myself a little graph. I know it's a little pie chart, just to work out what books I was going to choose for each category. So I'm just going to go through what the categories are and what I chose. So the first one is a classic mystery, 50 years old. So at least 50 years old anyway. So I've gone for The Big Bow Mystery. This is by Israel Zangwill. This is one of the Gaslight Crime series. This was actually printed in as a serialisation in the paper originally in 1891, and it was classed as the first closed door mystery. You know, when they can't work out how the murderer got in and out because the door was locked from the inside, that sort of thing. And actually they're a nice little series, Gaslight Crime. There's very interesting general introduction to the books of the times. It said here, the golden age of detective fiction. A little bit about the age of gaslight crime, which was 1914. So around the First World War, we started to get the gaslight crime being written. So yeah, very interesting information there. So I don't know too much about this. I do believe that we've got a what's the word? She's got a lodger, guest house, boarding house landlady. Couldn't think of it then. I was going to say pub. Boarding house landlady who finds her lodger locked in his bedroom and he's been done in. He has. So be interesting to see what comes of that. It's quite a nice little slim volume. But yeah, so that's what I've chosen for the one over 50 years. The next one, it says choose paranormal or futuristic mystery. So I looked into that, looked into this category. There's a few selections, so if you want to join with this and you're struggling to find something in that category, J.D. Robb has written numerous crime mysteries. It's Nora Roberts writes as J.D. Robb for this change of genre. Alex Scarrow, he does quite a few YA. Great selection there for I've not read either of those two actually, but many people do read them. But what I've actually chosen is another author that I've not heard of, and this is by Armand Rosamilia. I hope I've said that right. Armand Rosamilia, and it's the Green River Blend, and I've got that on my Kindle to read. Now this sounds really interesting. It's set in Florida in a place called Hammond Beach, and somebody moves into the area and decides that they're going to open a new coffee shop, and from what I can gather, they serve fresh coffee, do all the grinding of the coffee beans, and fresh blends make their own. I think something must be either added to it or something strange is going on here, because when you read the reviews on Goodreads, etc. and Amazon, many people are saying, oh, I'm glad I don't drink coffee, or oh, I'm not going to drink coffee ever again. So yes, we'll wait and see what that brings. All strange things start happening. It says here it's quite gruesome apparently, query some paranormal things going on. So I got that for 99p actually from on my Kindle. So yeah, that sounds good and it fits that category nicely. Now the next one is new to you author, and I've decided to choose J.D. Robb because, as I've just said, I've not read any of hers as mystery crime selection. I'm going to get one from the library. I haven't got one out yet, but there's usually plenty of those in the library, and I'd just choose a J.D. Robb to fit in with that category. Next, diverse character. Now I've really struggled with this, so I'd be interested to see Oh, excuse me, I thought I was going to have hiccups. I'll be interesting to see what everybody else has come up with for this. Any suggestions? Struggled with this. Now, at first I thought, yes, we could choose somebody like Poirot, Miss Marple. I mean, Poirot's quite diverse in that he's quite eccentric, he's quite a unique character, but I'm trying to think of somebody that's that's represents diversity in here and now. A character, for example, who is from an ethnic minority group, or they're from a GBLT community, that sort of thing. I'm struggling to find something that will fit in with that. So any suggestions, that would be great. So I've left that one for now. The next, it says kid or youth detective. So I've looked into this. There's a Ruby Redford series by Lauren Child that looks quite interesting. I think there's quite a few of this Ruby Redford series. I think it's middle grade to YA. And so that is a suggestion if you want to look into those. But what I've actually chosen is something, and it's just arrived today, so I'm all excited, is The Orangeboy by Patrice Lawrence. Now, obviously, this is doing its rounds on BookTube, but I wanted to pick something that, it's on the shortlist, been on the shortlist for the Costa Book Awards, and look at that, strange. All these goings on, that's like my head. That's why I don't sleep. That's what's going on in my head last thing at night. So it says, not cool enough, not clever enough, not street enough for anyone to notice me. I was the kid people looked straight through. Not anymore, not since Mr. Orange. So 16-year-old Marlon has made a promise to his mum he'll never follow his big brother Andre down the wrong path. But, yeah, they're after the mysterious Mr. Orange, and they're going to use Marlon to get to him. Ooh. So that's sort of just really interested me. Something a bit different. Definitely it fits into the kid or youth detective, and yeah, want to know more about that. It's just the cover draws you in. So yeah, The Orangeboy, Patrice Lawrence. Don't know anything about Patrice Lawrence at all, so again that could go into the new author category. Next, first or sequel. So I've chosen Peter May, Extraordinary People. I like Peter May. I've read quite a few of his standalone novels. This is from the Detective Enzo series, the Enzo Files. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 in the Enzo Files series. I mean, he's already done he's already got a series, the China Thrillers, the Lewis Trilogy, which is the one I've read. Standalone novels. Entry Island's excellent, so if you want a standalone, that's really good. Runaway's really good, and then he's done some non-fiction work with David Wilson in the Hebrides, because Peter May was actually born in Scotland. It's really strange that I don't know why I think it's strange, but if you think many of our prolific crime writers, for example, we've got Peter May from Scotland, we've got Anne Cleeves, who I've mentioned before, who I really love, she's from Scotland. We've got, now I'm trying to think of the guy that writes Rebus.
Rankin.
That's it, thank you, David. It's a good job I've got David behind that camera so he can prompt me. And I shouldn't forget actually Ian Rankin, because we have actually met him at a art event that we went to with our business with Jack Vetriano, and Ian Rankin is a really good friend of Jack Vetriano, so we have met him, so I shouldn't forget his name, should I? So back to The Extraordinary people. This is the first of the series, so again it fits the first or a sequel. And it said, Paris, an old mystery. As midnight strikes, a man desperately seeking sanctuary flees into a church. The next day, his sudden disappearance will make him famous throughout France. A new science. Forensic expert Enzo MacLeod takes a wager to solve the 7 most notorious French murders, armed with modern technology and a total disregard for the justice system. A fresh trial. Deep in the catacombs below the city, he unearths dark clues deliberately set, and as he draws closer to the killer, discovers that he is about to be the next victim. Ooh, so, yeah, that would be great for the first in a series. And the next one is true crime or true a thriller that's featuring a true story. I haven't come up with anything for that at the moment. I have only recently finished about the Columbine murders. That was Sue Klebold, A Mother's Reckoning, and that was obviously a true crime that happened Columbine in America. That was a very good book, well worth the read. So I'm going to count that in because I only sort of read it end of February. So unless I've come up with something else, I think I've got quite a few on there. And then last if not least, we've got our Cosy Mysteries. As you know, I like a good old cosy. And for this, I've chosen another MC Beaton. If you recall, my last Cosy Crime for sort of February, January through to February, midway, we had the death of a policeman, which was the Hamish Macbeth. So this is another one that I picked up from the charity shop, Death of Yesterday, another Hamish Macbeth mystery. So we'll see what he's up to in that. So I just want to remind everybody of what we are reading for Catherine's Cosy Crime. The Herring in the Library by L.C. Tyler, and I will be doing a review on that next week, about next weekend, which I try to do near as I can to the 18th-ish. It's about that, I think. It's a rough guess. So obviously, if you're reading along that, please, send me your thoughts in time so we can look at that when I do a wrap up on that on the 18th. And then we'll see what I've chosen for our next selection. So yes, please come along and join. There's still time for you to finish that in a week. It's an easy Cosy Crime. Yeah, it's unusual, it's different. There's some quirky characters in there. So yeah, please join me with that. So there we go. That's my selection for March Mystery Madness. See you again next time. Bye.